English singer Liam Payne, best known as a member of the boy band One Direction, has been found dead in Argentina. These are live pictures coming in now from Buenos Aires, outside the hotel where it's believed the 31-year-old fell from the third story of a building. Both fans and police officers are gathered outside there, where it's just past 8:30 p.m. local time. Reaction is just starting to come into the newsroom. Paris Hilton is among celebrities paying tribute, saying so upsetting to hear the news of Liam Payne passing, sending love and condolences to his family and loved ones. R.I.P. my friend. Liam Payne's family or representatives are yet to make a statement. Well, for more on this, let's go to Beverly Wang, who I believe is standing by in our studios. Beverly is the ABC's national culture correspondent and joins us now from Melbourne. Beverly, you just heard the information that we gave out about this tragic story regarding Liam Payne's death at the age of just 31. Do you have any more information about it?
Look, it's very much a developing story, as you say. This has only happened in the past few hours, and a lot of details are still coming to light. But we do know that Liam Payne was on holiday with his girlfriend, Kate Cassidy, in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And very suddenly, obviously, the shocking news that someone had fallen from a hotel balcony, and then the news came to light that it was Liam Payne. The gossip site TMZ has been criticized and really castigated by fans for publishing some photos of Liam Payne's body, not the full body, but photos that showed really distinct tattoos to confirm the identity. And it looks like the website has since taken that down, but obviously people who love One Direction are really shocked right now, and seeing those kinds of photos really pretty distasteful to fans, family members, you know, but there is that, and as you said, there's lots of reaction coming in from around the world. A lot of fans, I think, as this news is rolling in, are kind of reeling. I'm just hearing informal reports of people saying, you know, I gasped, I'm dumbfounded, because you know, you have to remember that One Direction is the biggest boy band of all time. In the 2010s, when they were formed, they were massive. You know, everywhere they went, they were swarmed by fans. They were, you know, ever present at that time. So people grew up with them.
Absolutely, highest selling boy bands in modern history. I think this quintet sold over 70 million records worldwide, according to Variety, in the time that they were together, 2010 to 2016. Can you take us back to the early career of Liam Payne and how he became a household name?
Well, it's kind of a famous story, isn't it? All five members of One Direction, they auditioned for the X Factor with Simon Cowell. They didn't quite make it through to the final phases, but you know, I think it was someone from the Pussycat Dolls suggested that Simon get them all together, and you know, individually they weren't quite making it through, but as a group with all their separate talents and their personalities, they became almost like a second coming of the Beatles, and rose from there. So in some ways, you know, put together kind of as a group, but they all had their individual talents and all went on to pursue solo careers after the band went on hiatus in the mid-2010s.
And how did that solo career look for Liam Payne? Look,
I think probably the most famous solo career that we can identify from One Direction isn't Liam Payne, but Harry Styles. And so I think if we can draw a conclusion from that, you know, there's always, not everybody's going to make it out of the boy band and be kind of the anointed one to make the star. I think Liam Payne was having a good go of it. He had a son with Cheryl Cole. He was pursuing a solo career with a lot of collaborations from a lot of people, but I think probably not quite in the standing of his bandmate Harry Styles.
Do we know what Liam was doing in Buenos Aires? We know that so many famous people, they document their lives, so you do get an inkling as to what they're up to. Do you know why he was in Buenos Aires?
Look, there's some unconfirmed reports, so I'll be very clear with that, but I have been reading that he was on holiday with his girlfriend. He may have been attending a concert of one of his other One Direction bandmates, and I'm hesitant to say it, but I think there have been some reports of some behavior, again, unconfirmed, of some erratic behavior. We'll have to watch those reports to really make sure.
No, yeah, absolutely. We'll just talk about what we know so far. And you mentioned there some of the reaction. I mean, he's been a household name for such a long time. All those boys out of One Direction, you know, have been. So obviously this is going to be extremely... It's an extreme tragedy for family and friends, but a huge shock for the music industry.
Oh, absolutely. I have no doubt that people will be playing a lot of One Direction in the next few hours, the next few days, kind of reminiscing, thinking about what this band and Liam Payne in particular has meant to their growing up and a part of their lives.
You made that comparison earlier, Beverly, to the Beatles. I mean, they were in the decades that went past between the 60s and the early, 2010s when they formed. Do you think that they really were a band of the calibre of the Beatles, or just one that has kind of come and the comparisons were drawn given they were young men?
Look, I think that really depends on your taste in music and what you think. I think as time passes, we always kind of look back with a kind of retrospective view and we reassess artists. And so I think perhaps there may have been a tendency to write off the Beatles at the beginning. There may have been a tendency to write off One Direction at the beginning because of, bands that are often the objects of like female fans. They sometimes get written off because people don't take what young women like seriously. And I think that's just kind of a broader cultural issue that's very gendered. So I think it's really going to depend on the generation. I think whenever you come to a band and they are with you in your formative years, they're always going to have that really special place in your heart. So a fan of the Beatles might say, I don't think anybody can stand up next to them, but a fan of One Direction might have a totally different view.